March 2020. So, in March 2020, I was invited to the Valorant Alpha playtest IRL in Barcelona. Now, I am not the type of person to go to events. I don't like events, it's just a bunch of people, a bunch of sweaty nerds, and I just haven't had a good time at most of the events I've been to. However, this time, when it kinda tied into what I do on YouTube, which is CS, Valorant was a CSGO competitor, I thought, what the hell, I'll go to this event. Now, sadly, this event didn't happen, and I was like, oh, that sucks, but at the same time, I was a little bit happy because that means my autism having ass doesn't need to leave my house. So what they did instead was, Riot said that the company was working hard on a digital solution, which we could play Valorant basically in alpha from our home setups, which is very nice. That's what I would have preferred. I don't need to move outside of my house, and I can still try the game and make a video, which is all I wanted to do. Now, fast forward a few weeks, the alpha is actually live for streamers. It's super serious, you're not allowed to leak anything, and they had an embargo on it, so the video that I had made, I wasn't allowed to release it until a very specific day and time, and same went for the people that wanted to stream the game. That streaming embargo ended on the 7th of April 2020, which was 4 days after the video embargo ended. So at this point, 4 days had passed since my video. I had no intentions of streaming Valorant, and then, you know, these 4 days pass, I didn't think anymore about Valorant, and I see on the 7th, I check my Twitch, on the day the embargo was lifted, and I saw Trilux and Onscreen both had way more viewers than they normally have, and they were playing Valorant. And I was thinking like, what the hell? Why do they have so many viewers? And that's when I realized the closed beta was live, meaning that anyone could play the beta, but they needed to have a key for it. Now, how did you get a key? Well, only through Twitch drops. And how did you get Twitch drops? Well, you watched a streamer that had drops enabled. And the only streamers which Valorant enabled drops for in the beginning were the very, very few streamers and pro players which were invited to their IRL Barcelona Alpha playtest, and I was one of those people, and so was Trilux and Onscreen, and that's when I realized like, oh, maybe I should try Valorant on my stream. So that's what I did, because everyone, and I mean everyone, wanted a beta key, and that means everyone was gonna watch these streamers who were invited to the event, which means maybe I'll get more viewers than usual. So the first day that I streamed was actually the 7th, the day when embargo lifted. I didn't think I was gonna stream, I had no plans, but I just saw other people have hella viewers, and I thought, oh, well, I'll bump up the stream. I ended up streaming for 10 hours, and I had an average viewership of 10,000, and that's a lot more than what I usually have. So the day ended, I was super happy, I played Valorant, it was fun, I had a shit ton of viewers, and so the day after, I also streamed Valorant, this time for 7.5 hours, and I had around 10,000 average viewers that day as well. And then for the next coming like 5-6 days, I continued these super long streams and only played Valorant because that's where I'd have the high viewership, and that's what people seemed to enjoy at the time since they wanted drops. But I noticed that other streamers were doing 24/7 streams with drops enabled, where they were basically replaying their previous streams while they were off sleeping or doing whatever. So what they would do is they would basically live stream as regular for 12 hours, and then instead of turning the stream offline here when they would go to bed, they would just take this 12-hour live stream which they had done and replay the VOD of it, meaning that you would re-watch this same 12-hour segment, but you would watch it again, so they never had to go offline. And then the next day, they would just come back and stream 12 hours and then 12 offline, but the thing is, they never went offline, so they always had drops enabled. And I checked the Twitch TOS, there was nothing preventing you from replaying your VOD while you had drops on your stream. There was nothing that prevented you from doing it. So at first, of course, because I was putting in the work. I was streaming like 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day, trying to get as many viewers as possible while the drops were enabled. I thought this was very scummy. I was disgusted at the fact that they were doing this and replaying themselves, basically a 12-hour video of themselves, while not actually being live, but being labeled as being live. But as I said, after a week of doing the live streams myself, I just thought, fuck it, if I can't beat them, join them. Because still, after a week, nothing had been done about these like semi-offline 24/7 channels, so I decided to do it myself. Because in this case, if Twitch doesn't give a shit, then why should I? And this is really where the abuse of the Twitch system started. Now, I say abuse, but during the time, it was not against the TOS, it was completely fine, completely legal, and, you know, no one got banned for doing this, because according to their TOS, it was fine. For the next 16 days after my original week of streaming, I was live 24 hours per day, 16 days in a row, for a total of like almost 400 hours streamed in just 2 weeks. Now, I have some screenshots here from my Twitch dashboard. This is time streamed from the 1st of January to the last of December, basically the whole year of 2020. And as you can see, normally my streams would be maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours sometimes if I'm doing a long stream. But then, for some reason, in a very specific area, it just goes and tops out at 24 hours per day, and it just never stops. You can see it's a fucking block. Now, this is obviously when I did those 24-hour streams non-stop, and I started streaming Valorant around here, you can see. Actually, I have here, these are the times during when I streamed Valorant. So you can see in the beginning, when I was streaming actually live, there was not that many hours streamed. You can see we have 8, 9, 10, 11 hours, 12 hours, but nothing crazy. The craziness starts here on the 13th of April. Now, this is my time streamed. Next up, we have the average viewers. As you can see, this is the average viewers that I have when I stream regular games, like CSGO. You can see it's around like 1, 2, 3, 4,000 viewers, that's pretty good, you know. That's definitely nothing to take for granted. But then we have this little space over here, which has quite a lot more viewers, as you might see. Many of the days topping up over 100,000 viewers average. This is not max viewers, this is average viewers per day for the whole stream for 24 hours. That means I maintained over 100,000 viewers for over 24 hours in one day. That is absolutely crazy. Next up, we have unique viewers. Same here, you can see a hell of a lot of viewers, more than I normally would. You see, normally these spikes are almost unnoticeable compared to this. And finally, we have the max viewership. As I said, max viewership is probably around 2, 3, 4,000 per stream. Well, here during the Valorant days, they are over 100,000. They're in between 100 and 150. I actually know what my max viewership was. It was just over, I think, 127,000 at the same time. And that's what I saw myself as max in my dashboard, which that's obviously fucking crazy. Because everyone just wanted their Valorant drop. Now, you might be thinking, why was I doing this? Yeah, more viewers, that's always cool, you know, that's clout. But why did I keep doing it for so long, like for a month? Yeah, you have a lot of viewers, but how does that benefit me? Well, the benefit was that people were subscribing to my Twitch channel at the time because they had Prime subscriptions. Those are free on Amazon and on Twitch, and the streamer who you Prime subscribe to get paid. And this was back before they made subscriptions a lot cheaper. Back then, each and every single subscription always had a set rate. And also, during these like 600 hours of streaming in just 2, 3, 4 weeks, I was playing ads almost the whole time, because I knew so many people just had my stream on their second monitor because they wanted a key. They would watch until they got the pop-up, you got the key, wow, cool, and then they'd exit. They wouldn't really care care if they had ads on their second screen because they knew that they would eventually get the key by Twitch. And usually when you play ads on Twitch, if any one of you guys watching streams yourself, you will know if you play an ad, your viewership goes down significantly. People complain and, you know, it sucks. Even Twitch now sometimes automatically plays ads, which is really annoying because then people complain and they think that the streamer is greedy, when in fact it's Twitch auto-playing the ads. Well, back when I was doing Valorant, I was playing the ads and I was playing an ungodly amount of ads. During this time, I basically played the max amount of ads per hour allowed possible by Twitch. And it did not affect my viewership at all. People in chat didn't even care. No one wrote about it. It was just, everyone was just hunting for their drop. So now, before we get into the terms of service change, just some quick stats why it was so crazy and why I kept doing it. During this time, I reached my highest subscription count on Twitch ever, which you can see if you go to Twitch Tracker and do all-time subscription records. Now, I am number 19 with 70,420 subscriptions. That is absolutely insane. And as you can see, this was in May 2020, and most of these other records are from 21, 22, etc. So back in 2020, when I got this many subscribers, I was actually, I think, in the top 7 on Twitch all-time sub records, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And as I said, my max viewership was like 127,000, and I gained 1.43 million followers on Twitch in this very short time span. Basically, this loophole was fucking stupid. I knew this from the start. I knew that Twitch were going to have to do something about it, but the fact that it took so long actually surprised me a bit. It took them like 3 weeks to do something, which is very crazy to me. So, on the 28th of April 2020, Twitch themselves tweeted, "We've heard concerns about creators continuously streaming VODs while tagging their channel as live to farm Valorant drops." Yes, sir! This harms the integrity of our drops platform, so we've updated our community guidelines to clarify that cheating any Twitch reward system is prohibited. And I fully agree with this. This was definitely farming Valorant drops. It was definitely cheating the system, and it definitely should not be allowed. But until it's clearly stated in their community guidelines that it's not allowed, it was basically a free-for-all because it was allowed until they made it illegal. Same in the real world, you know, until we have a law about something, it's not really illegal to do it, you know, until that law is put into place, right? I think that's how it works. And now in the Twitch official guidelines, you can see that if you scroll down under spam, scams, and other malicious conduct, you will see any content or activity that disrupts, interrupts, harms, or otherwise violates the integrity of Twitch services, such as cheating a Twitch rewards system, such as drops or channel points. Yes, that is exactly what everyone doing the 24/7 streams were doing, but as soon as it went into effect, as soon as their TOS was changed, of course, I didn't keep doing it, because now the party's over, you know? So what I did instead was, I wrote to my trusty friend Victor, who also loved Valorant and was streaming quite a lot during this time, and I said, "Hey bro, do you want to do a 36-hour non-stop live stream now that you can't do offline streams anymore, so we have to actually sit there for 36 hours in a row and stream?" And he said, "Hell yeah!" And that's also the story about the longest stream I've ever done, which was 36 hours. Fun fact, if you stream for 36 hours, Twitch will actually automatically cut your stream at that point and restart it, so you can't actually, at least back then, get a VOD that is longer than 36 hours. And I learned this while I was doing these streams. And as you can see, the 28th would have been exactly over there, which means that once this block stops, you will see this is where we go back to the regular streams where I'm just sitting live and streaming and having fun. And you can see here is the 36-hour stream, which is just also a huge just pillar. And after this, everyone was asking me, "Oh, Anomaly, are you going to play only Valorant now? Are you going to just abandon CS because you've been streaming Valorant so long?" And I said, of course no, I'm just gonna go back to playing CS and trading, because that was just basically an exploit in real life, you know, a glitch that was patched by Twitch, but it worked for quite a while. And that's that's basically the story about how I got Twitch to change their terms of service and how I abused a kind of broken system for profit, along with a lot of other streamers at the time, which was very stonks. Thank you for watching. That's a fucking story time moment.